Well, today is the day. KIMT News 3 is live here at Rochesterfest in the Med City. I'm KIMT News 3's Katie Lang, and beside me is Storm Team 3 Chief Meteorologist Aaron White.
And I will say it's a rather sunny and hot day here at Rochesterfest. We are tracking the chance for some storms. A look at your forecast is coming up here in just a few minutes.
And we're moments away from community members breaking ground on a new law enforcement memorial. I'm KIMT News 3's Anthony Mons on live as they gather to remember our fallen heroes.
KIMT News 3 First at 4 starts right now.
KIMT News 3, coverage you can count on. This is KIMT News 3's First at 4.
Good afternoon and thanks for joining us for KIMT News 3 First at 4. I'm Amy Fleming. Now, this week we are celebrating all the Med City has to offer with Rochesterfest. Today and tomorrow, the KIMT News 3 team is bringing you live coverage from all of the fun happening at Soldiers Field. Let's go to where all that action is with KIMT News 3's Katie Lang and KIMT Storm Team 3 Chief Meteorologist Aaron White. Hey guys, it is hot out there, but I bet you're having fun.
Oh my goodness. Hey Amy, it is hot and a little bit muggy out here today, but there's a lot of folks out here at Rochesterfest kind of coming and going. There's a lot of, it is a pretty good crowd. You know, there's beanbags right beside us. There's a lot of food vendors.
All the fun.
Yeah, all the fun. I actually had to go over and already support the Dairy Association and get myself a strawberry milkshake. There's
melty.
Lemonade. It is a little bit milty at this point, but there's a lot of fun to be had, and thankfully, it looks like the rain might hold off for us, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's kind of been the nice trend that we saw starting yesterday and into today. We looking at the rain chances overall, and it doesn't look like we're going to see much in the way of storm activity for the rest of today. There is still a very slight chance, but overall conditions are looking pretty good, so that's the good news. And as we take a look at our forecast across the area, at least our current temperatures, we got 87 degrees out in North Iowa, Mesa City, so it is a very warm day. It is rather humid as well. 86 now in downtown Rochester. You think about that's the air temperature. Our dew points are up into the upper 60s to lower 70s, so we actually have heat index values into the lower 90s. So definitely one of those nice summer type days where you get that warmth, you get that humidity. And as we go through this evening, temperatures are going to stay on the warm side. We are still at 76 degrees at 10 o'clock. And as you are heading out the door tomorrow morning, temperatures starting off in the mid 60s, eventually back up into the 70s. So we are looking at some warm conditions again for tomorrow. Now, Katie, I will say we are tracking a better chance of showers and storms arriving for Friday right on into the weekend, and that could actually bring some decent rainfall to the area. So hopefully that's what we see, and hopefully that's something that's going to kind of cool things off a little bit too for everyone.
Not only cool things off for everyone, but I know all along you guys have certainly been tracking drought-like conditions.
Yeah, and I mean, until we get some more rain, it's just kind of getting worse and worse, and I think this rainfall that we see Friday and Saturday could at least give us a little bit of, help with the overall situation.
A good soaker.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Thanks, Aaron. Well, if you've been out to Rochesterfest, which was certainly canceled last year because of COVID-19, we were here in 2019, and like I already mentioned, a lot of food vendors, a lot of different goodies from local restaurants, mini donuts, ice cream paninis, so many delicious things. KIMT News 3's Jessica Bringy is actually checking in with one of those local vendors. Jess?
Katie, I actually have a funnel cake here, and this is something I have never had before in my life, so I figured we'd do a quick little live taste test here, get a good bite of this strawberries, whipped cream, and fried batter. So I have to say, it's definitely very sweet. If you're not into fried food on a very hot day, well, there are plenty of other options out there for you. I did catch up with the manager of the Olmsted County ADA Milkshake Trailer, Lexi Hansen. She tells me this is the first year her family has taken it over, with her two other sisters and dad lending a hand to deliver sweet treats to anyone who stops by.
So many people are like, I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm so glad they were able to put something on, even though I still think pandemic is still, happening a little, but we're definitely on the end of it, I would say. And I think a lot of people are very thankful that they're able to see people face to face and interact with family and friends and stuff.
And if you are looking for a cooler treat, there are of course $5 milkshakes and malts that you can get there with a variety of flavors, including chocolate, mint, turtle, and even chocolate berry. I'm going to throw it back to you though for now, Katie. Live in Rochester, Jessica Bringy, KIMT News 3.
Thanks, Jess. We'll be checking back in with Jess Bringy throughout the newscast. For now, though, let's send things back to KIMT News 3's Amy Fleming back in the studio. Amy.
Thank you, Katie, Jess, and Aaron. On top of all of the food and activities, there are a bunch of activities and events happening at Rochesterfest. And one of the many events happening today is the Happy Hour Entertainment. That kicks off in just about an hour at 5 o'clock at Soldiers Field with a performance by Hair of the Dog. Also happening today, the KARAOKE Extravaganza. That will allow anyone 13 years or older to showcase their pipes in a singing competition. That kicks off at 7 this evening, and those interested can register online and submit an audio or video audition clip. The winner will represent Rochester in the Minnesota Sings State Competition. Happening now, more than 30 fallen officers are being remembered this afternoon as officials break ground on the long-awaited Southeast Minnesota Law Enforcement Memorial. KIMT News 3's Anthony Monzon is live at a groundbreaking ceremony for that memorial, expected to start in just a few moments. Anthony?
Well, Amy, there are already a number of community members here that have gathered at the northwest corner of Soldiers Field Memorial Park ahead of this groundbreaking event that comes on the heels of years of hard work developing a place where community members can go to pay their respects to our area's fallen heroes. Now, in the coming minutes, we'll hear from Olmsted County Sheriff Kevin Torgerson, who's also the president of the Law Enforcement Memorial Foundation of Southeast Minnesota. His comments will be followed by an address by Randy Haley, the son of fallen RPD officer Floyd Haley, who was shot and killed while investigating suspicious activity outside a Rochester bowling alley in 1967. And although work is set to get started here on the memorial, the foundation has only secured about 50% of the budget needed to actually complete this project. And you can find out more on how you can make a donation to the project on our website and at lawenforcementmemorial.org. Live in Rochester, Anthony Monzon, KIMT News 3.
Thanks, Anthony. We'll bring you moments from the ceremony this evening, starting at 6 o'clock. Looking ahead, former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin is set to be sentenced tomorrow afternoon for the death of George Floyd. A jury convicted the 45-year-old of second and third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter in April. At about 1:30 tomorrow afternoon, Judge Peter Cahill will begin the sentencing hearing. Sentencing guidelines call for Chauvin, who has no prior criminal history, to face a minimum of 12.5 years in prison on the most serious charge of second-degree murder. But the judge has already ruled that the prosecution proved aggravating factors in the case, increasing Chauvin's possible sentence to up to 40 years. Tomorrow, KIMT News 3's Anthony Monzon will be heading to Minneapolis for Chauvin's sentencing. Be sure to tune in to KIMT News 3 on air and online for the latest live coverage.